In a universe bustling with interstellar activity, Earth remained a relatively unnoticed and uncharted planet, teeming with diverse life and blue oceans. But everything was about to change when the Gritharians, a militaristic alien race, decided that Earth was strategically important for their expansion plans. Little did they know, their decision would lead to one of the most surprising episodes in the annals of interstellar conflicts. The Gritharians were known across the galaxy for their fearsome war tactics and no-nonsense approach to conquest. Their technology was advanced, their soldiers were ruthless, and their plans were meticulously executed. When their ominous fleet hovered in the skies above Earth, casting large shadows over its cities, a wave of fear rippled across the human population. Meanwhile, in a top-secret international meeting, world leaders and their advisors were scrambling for solutions. Traditional military strategies seemed futile against such a technologically superior foe. It was in this meeting, half out of desperation and half inspired by madness, that the most unexpected countermeasure was proposed by Dr. Emily Saunders, a renowned xenobiologist. "Why not use what we are known for? Our biodiversity," Dr. Saunders suggested. "What if the very creatures we view as simple pets or zoo exhibits are our best hope against the Gritharians?" Her proposal was met with skepticism, but the urgency of the situation pressed the committee to entertain all possibilities. Dr. Saunders elaborated on her plan, deploying Earth's most adorable yet surprisingly capable animals as the first line of defense. The plan was to confuse and catch the Gritharians off guard, leveraging the element of surprise and the intrinsic abilities of these creatures. Operation Cute and Cuddly Warriors was greenlit. Teams of researchers and military strategists began working alongside animal handlers and biologists. The first battalion included capybaras, known for their incredible calmness under stress, honey badgers famous for their ferocity and resilience, and surprisingly, the seemingly delicate but toxically armed poison dart frogs. As the Gritharian ships prepared to deploy ground troops, they were baffled to see streams of animals being released from various parts of the globe. The capybaras, with their unassuming presence, served as mobile shields, confusing the enemy's targeting systems, which had never been programmed to engage such foes. The honey badgers, equipped with light armor, charged with a ferocity that belied their size, disrupting the alien formations. Meanwhile, the poison dart frogs were strategically placed in forests and jungles where their natural toxins could be used to great effect. The initial shock of Earth's defense strategy threw the Gritharians into disarray. Their commanders, trained to fight sophisticated battles against armed soldiers and advanced machinery, found themselves at a loss on how to counter these small, fierce, and bizarrely adorable Earth creatures. Amidst this chaos, Dr. Saunders and her team monitored the effects of their unconventional army from a secure location. Cameras mounted on some of the animals streamed live footage, showing the world the courage and unpredictability of their new heroes. This footage, broadcasted across the globe, not only boosted morale, but also sparked a newfound appreciation for Earth's wildlife. As the first day of the invasion turned into night, the Gritharians, frustrated and confused, withdrew their ground forces to regroup and reconsider their strategy. Earth had won the first battle, thanks to its unlikely warriors, and the story of their bravery was just beginning to unfold. Dr. Saunders watched the retreating alien ships and knew this was only the beginning. Preparations for the next phase of the battle were already underway, and she hoped that the element of surprise would continue to play in their favor. The first chapter of Earth's defense had ended on an unexpected high note, setting the stage for a series of strange and remarkable events that would continue to define humanity's response to the cosmic threat. As Earth rejoiced in their initial victory, the Gritharians hovered in orbit, their once unquestioned confidence shaken. The council aboard the flagship, a colossal vessel that blotted out stars, was in turmoil. Commander Irathil, with his carapace glinting under the harsh light of the strategy room, called for silence. "We must adapt," he declared. "These creatures are not mere animals. They are weapons, honed by the peculiar evolution of this planet." Back on Earth, Dr. Saunders expanded her recruitment of Earth's fauna. The next group to be enlisted included the quick and agile squirrels, trained to sabotage alien technology by infiltrating and gnawing through wires. Parrots, with their sharp mimicry skills, were tasked with intercepting and confusing alien communications by imitating their signals. Meanwhile, specialized teams were also assembling a botanical defense line. Plants like the fiercely protective thorny devil's backbone and the explosively dispersing sandbox tree were strategically positioned around major cities and critical infrastructures. The Gritharians, desperate to regain their footing, launched a second wave of attack. This time, they deployed mechanical ground drones designed to handle irregular warfare. These drones were programmed to recognize and neutralize Earth's animal soldiers. However, Earth's defenders had grown more cunning. The squirrels proved especially troublesome, darting with uncanny precision and leaving a trail of disabled drones in their wake. The parrots, flying in synchronized squads, jammed the alien frequencies with a cacophony of replicated signals, creating a smokescreen of auditory chaos. Under this cover, swarms of bees, enhanced with a mild neurotoxin, were released. These bees targeted the alien ground troops, their stings causing disorientation and hesitation among the ranks. In space, the Gritharians' orbital superiority was uncontested, yet they found themselves unable to effectively support their ground forces. Every attempt to recalibrate their strategies was met with yet another ingenious countermeasure from Earth. Commander Irithil, facing pressure from his superiors, decided on a more drastic measure. Unbeknownst to the humans, the Gritharians had been developing a bioagent, tailored to suppress Earth's terrestrial life without causing permanent ecological damage. They believed this would incapacitate Earth's biological defense without violating interstellar war conventions. The deployment of this bioagent was intended as a final measure to subdue Earth without a full-scale invasion. However, Earth had its own set of spies, the dolphins, whose intelligence had been underestimated by the aliens. Intercepting underwater transmissions, the dolphins relayed critical information back to Dr. Saunders' team about the impending biological threat. In response, Dr. Saunders collaborated with top geneticists to engineer a counteragent derived from the resilient extremophiles found in Earth's harshest environments. This counteragent was designed to neutralize the alien bioagent and was quickly disseminated worldwide through aerosol drones, protecting both animal and plant life from the alien threat. As the bioagent descended in clouds of ominous mist, it met with the swirling counteragent. The resulting reaction neutralized the invasive substance before it could take effect, causing it to dissipate harmlessly into the atmosphere. Stunned by the failure of their secret weapon, the Gritharians were forced to retreat once more. On Earth, the celebration was cautious, yet hopeful. Dr. Saunders, observing the retreating alien ships, knew that while this battle was won, the war was far from over. The resilience of Earth's defenders, both human and non-human, had held the line once again, but the conflict was escalating, promising greater challenges ahead. As the shadow of the Gritharian fleet receded from Earth's skies, the planet's defenders did not rest. The brief respite was used to fortify and expand their unusual arsenal. Dr. Saunders' initiative had now grown into a full-fledged division within the Global Defense Force, codenamed Fauna Brigade. It was clear that every creature, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, had a role to play in this vast tapestry of defense. The escalation of the conflict saw the Gritharians resorting to more sophisticated technologies. They deployed an array of probes designed to map and analyze the genetic makeup of Earth's biodefense, hoping to find a vulnerability they could exploit. But Earth was one step ahead. Biotechnologists and ecologists worked together to develop a series of decoy organisms, genetically altered plants and animals that emitted false genetic signals, misleading the alien probes and sabotaging their data collection efforts. Meanwhile, in the depths of Earth's oceans, where the Gritharians had yet to assert their presence, the marine division of the Fauna Brigade was taking shape. Giant squids, with their impressive size and intelligence, were trained to disable underwater drones and entangle enemy submersibles. Schools of electric eels were enhanced and organized to function as dynamic underwater mines, capable of disabling enemy crafts with potent shocks. In space, the human forces began launching satellites disguised as ordinary debris. These satellites were equipped with advanced cloaking technology and served as covert observation posts. They monitored Gritharian movements, providing crucial intelligence to Earth strategists. This network of ghost satellites proved invaluable, offering insights into the enemy's formations and fleet movements without their knowledge. On the terrestrial front, the battlefields witnessed the introduction of advanced exoskeletal suits for larger animals. Bears and gorillas, outfitted in these suits, became formidable ground forces capable of executing rescue operations and engaging in direct combat with enemy drones that had managed to land. As tensions mounted, the Gritharians launched a more aggressive campaign, directly targeting the communication networks of Earth. In response, the parrots and other mimicking birds were now not just disruptors, but also became integral in re-establishing communications among human forces, mimicking transmission signals to create ad hoc communication networks whenever standard lines were compromised. The Gritharians, frustrated by these persistent and unconventional tactics, decided to confront Earth with a massive display of force. A large segment of their fleet descended into the lower orbit, preparing for a bombardment that could potentially cripple Earth's infrastructure. This move was a gamble, exposing their ships to Earth's newly developed ground-to-space defensive systems. In the highlands of Tibet, ancient monasteries that had been converted into strategic defense sites housed the latest in orbital defense cannons. These cannons, powered by a hybrid of human and alien technology salvaged from downed probes, were capable of piercing the shields of Gritharian ships. As the ships descended, these cannons fired in unison, a coordinated volley that struck several Gritharian vessels, forcing them to retreat once again. This battle, fought under the pale glow of Earth's moon, showcased the resilience and ingenuity of Earth's combined forces. With each encounter, the defenders adapted and learned, turning what many believed to be weaknesses into strengths. As the Gritharians regrouped, so did Earth's forces, each side aware that the conflict was far from over and that the stakes were continuing to rise. The relentless pace of the conflict prompted Earth's strategists to delve deeper into the unconventional. With each Gritharian retreat, the terrestrial coalition grew bolder, embarking on projects that blurred the lines between science fiction and battlefield reality. One such project involved the neural linking of cetaceans, dolphins, and whales, with underwater communication networks to create a sentient surveillance system across Earth's oceans. These majestic creatures, with their sophisticated sonar capabilities and deep-water agility, now served as mobile aquatic sensors, detecting even the faintest vibrations from enemy submarines trying to breach Earth's waters. The cetacean network, affectionately dubbed the Aquatic Echo, proved to be a formidable barrier, frustrating the Gritharians' attempts to establish underwater bases. In response to Earth's escalating defense capabilities, the Gritharians unleashed their newly developed spectral drones, machines capable of operating partially shifted out of phase with normal space. These drones could bypass traditional physical defenses by partially materializing to execute their missions before slipping back into their spectral state. The introduction of spectral drones on the battlefield necessitated a rapid evolution in Earth's military technology. Quantum physicists and engineers teamed up to develop phase modulators capable of bringing these spectral entities fully into phase, making them vulnerable to attack. Teams of raccoons, renowned for their dexterity and problem-solving skills, were equipped with miniaturized phase modulators. These agile creatures sneaked into areas of conflict, turning the spectral drones into tangible targets for the fauna brigade's more robust combatants. As the war escalated in complexity, the Gritharians also intensified their psychological warfare, attempting to demoralize Earth's populace with deep-fake broadcasts of leaders surrendering or declaring defeat. However, the global resistance had anticipated such tactics. AI-driven countermeasures were deployed, quickly debunking false broadcasts and tracing their origins. The counterintelligence units, using the same technology, crafted their deceptive operations to sow discord among the Gritharian ranks, broadcasting tailored messages that hinted at mutiny and dissatisfaction within their fleet. The Gritharians, realizing the resilience and resourcefulness of Earth's inhabitants, decided to target the planet's satellite defenses, aiming to blind Earth's surveillance capabilities before a major offensive. A fierce battle ensued in the void of space, where human-piloted drones, maneuvering between the debris and functioning satellites, engaged Gritharian assault pods in high-stakes dogfights. These pilots, a mix of ace flyers and AI, executed daring maneuvers that leveraged the debris field as both shield and weapon. On the ground, amidst a particularly intense confrontation in the ruins of what was once a bustling metropolis, the tide of battle was unexpectedly turned by an overlooked faction: urban wildlife. Packs of dogs, cats, and even pigeons, coordinated by animal handlers using remote guidance systems, became guerrilla fighters in their own right. They retrieved lost equipment, tracked enemy movements, and disrupted supply lines, showcasing their value in urban warfare where every shadow and corner could hide a threat or an opportunity. As Earth and the Gritharians pushed each other to the limits of innovation and endurance, it became clear that this war was not just a battle for territory, but a profound test of adaptability and resilience. Each new invention and strategy unfolding on the cosmic chessboard demonstrated Earth's determination to defend its sovereignty and the depth of its commitment to survival. As the war progressed, Earth's defenses had to evolve rapidly in response to the increasingly sophisticated threats posed by the Gritharian forces. The continuous pressure from the alien assaults spurred human and non-human strategists to deepen their collaboration, leading to the development of the Integrated Defense Matrix, IDM. This system interconnected Earth's diverse biotic and technological defenses into a cohesive framework, enhancing the planet's responsiveness and adaptability to alien tactics. The IDM's effectiveness was soon tested as the Gritharians launched a full-scale counteroffensive, aiming to overpower Earth's orbital defenses and establish a blockade that could starve the planet into submission. The initial strikes were fierce, targeting the satellite shields that protected Earth's communication and surveillance infrastructure. In anticipation, Earth's command had positioned stealth cruisers in geosynchronous orbits above major cities. These cruisers, equipped with the latest pulse cannons, served as guardians of the planet's orbital domain. Their presence remained concealed until the Gritharian ships came into range, revealing Earth's strategic foresight. Simultaneously, on the surface, the conflict saw the introduction of bioenhanced flora. Geneticists had engineered fast-growing plants that could create dense, impassable barriers on demand, effectively controlling the movement of ground forces. These living barriers were deployed around critical infrastructure sites, creating natural fortresses that were resistant to conventional weaponry. In the aquatic theaters, the dolphin-led Aquatic Echo Network detected an unusual increase in submarine activity in the Atlantic sector. This early warning allowed the Marine Command to deploy swarms of genetically modified jellyfish with bioluminescent markers that clung to enemy submarines. The glowing markers made the submarines visible to predatory deep-sea fauna, which had been trained to attack anything that disturbed their habitat. Back in space, as the battle raged, the debris from destroyed satellites and ships began to pose a significant hazard, threatening both sides with the potential for catastrophic collisions. Earth strategists implemented a debris management system, utilizing swarms of small, agile drones equipped with nets and magnetic fields to capture and reposition debris into a designated junkyard orbit, thus clearing critical paths for maneuvering. This measure not only preserved the integrity of Earth's remaining orbital assets, but also provided material for the construction of additional defense platforms. Engineers and robots worked in tandem to assemble new platforms using the salvaged materials, demonstrating an efficient cycle of resource utilization under crisis conditions. On Earth, the integration of AI into the defense strategy reached a new level of sophistication. AI systems were tasked with analyzing incoming data from all fronts, predicting probable Gritharian attack patterns, and automatically adjusting defense postures in real time. These systems also simulated countless battle scenarios, continuously learning and evolving, which allowed Earth's forces to stay several steps ahead of the Gritharian strategic moves. As the Gritharians realized the complexity and resilience of Earth's defenses, their strategy shifted towards attempting to hack into and disrupt the IDM. However, Earth's cybersecurity teams, composed of both humans and advanced AIs, had fortified the IDM's network with layers of encryption and trapdoors. Intrusion attempts were not only thwarted, but also traced back to their sources, allowing Earth to launch precise counter-hacks that disrupted Gritharian communications and sowed confusion among their ranks. Through these concerted efforts across multiple domains, space, cyber, land, and sea, Earth maintained a dynamic and impenetrable defense, constantly adapting and responding to the evolving Gritharian strategies. The commitment to innovation and unity among Earth's diverse defenders created a formidable front that upheld the planet's sovereignty against all odds. As the war reached its climax, the Gritharians found themselves increasingly outmatched. Earth's relentless innovation and unified defense had turned what was initially perceived as an easy conquest into a protracted and costly struggle. The Gritharians, facing mounting losses and dwindling resources, began to question the feasibility of their campaign. In the heart of Earth's command center, a final strategy meeting was underway. Dr. Saunders, alongside military leaders and top scientists, analyzed the latest data from the integrated defense matrix. They decided that instead of waiting for another Gritharian assault, Earth would take the initiative. The plan was to launch a decisive strike that would disable the Gritharian flagship, effectively crippling their operational capabilities. The operation would require precision and coordination on an unprecedented scale. A fleet of stealth bombers, cloaked by the latest adaptive camouflage technology, was prepared. Their target was the Gritharian flagship's main reactor. Simultaneously, a coalition of Earth's best cyber operatives would infiltrate the alien network to disable their communications, ensuring the bombers could reach their target undetected. As the bombers approached the flagship, the cyber team successfully breached the Gritharian defenses. They planted a series of data bombs that exploded across the network, sending their communications into chaos. With the enemy distracted and their systems compromised, the bombers executed their mission flawlessly. The missiles, equipped with electromagnetic pulse warheads, hit the Gritharian reactor, triggering a cascade of failures throughout the flagship. The impact of the strike was immediate and devastating. Deprived of their command center, the Gritharian fleet was thrown into disarray. Units that were once operating in meticulous synchrony were now isolated and ineffective. Seizing this opportunity, Earth's forces launched coordinated attacks across all fronts, pushing the Gritharians back with overwhelming force. In the wake of their tactical victory, Earth extended an offer of peace to the Gritharians, proposing a treaty that would end hostilities and establish mutual terms for coexistence. The Gritharians, realizing the futility of continuing the conflict, accepted. The Treaty of Terra was signed aboard the now disabled Gritharian flagship, witnessed by leaders from both sides and broadcasted across the galaxy as a testament to Earth's resilience and strategic prowess. With the war concluded, Earth faced the task of rebuilding. Cities that had been battlegrounds were now centers of reconstruction. The technology developed during the war was repurposed to aid recovery efforts. The Fauna Brigade, heroes of the war, were honored, and their members, both human and animal, received medals of valor. The end of the war also marked the beginning of a new era of interstellar relations. Earth emerged not just as a victor, but as a respected member of the galactic community. The knowledge and technology exchanged during the treaty negotiations led to advancements in environmental restoration, energy production, and space exploration. As peace settled over the planet, Dr. Saunders looked out over a world forever changed. The unity and creativity that had been Earth's salvation were now paving the way for a future filled with promise. Humanity and its once overlooked allies, the creatures of Earth, had not only defended their home, but had also opened doors to new possibilities, heralding an age of exploration and cooperation in the cosmos.